I'm 38 years old this year, a master's graduate, and I'm still single without children. I really regret it. So much regret. I often wonder why I didn't marry earlier. I kept putting it off until my 30s, and now I feel a deep sense of remorse. It seemed like a good time to settle down before I turned 30, but now that I'm approaching 40, there isn't a single person around me who cares for me. I feel incredibly isolated here in Ningbo, with no family or friends nearby. When I get sick, I'm completely alone. To be honest, even if I were to collapse at home, no one would notice. Right now, I feel so lonely. I don't understand how I ended up in this situation. I realize many of my problems come from my own choices, and I need to do some serious self-reflection. I think it's time for me to make some changes because I can't keep running myself down like this. I need to work hard and change my circumstances. Otherwise, if I stay like this, I might really break down. I should try to meet more people instead of isolating myself at home every day. I need to pursue happiness and engage in social activities. I have a slow to warm up personality, which makes it hard for anyone to really get close to me. Once someone does, it takes a long time for me to move on. I also tend to cling to the past, which makes it tough to let go of things that have happened. I know this might be my fault, and I recognize that I have some personal issues. So, I think it's crucial for me to change and not continue down this path of self-destruction. I want a better future, and I need to be brave and work hard. I don't want to be someone who gets left behind. I really need to reflect on myself and make some adjustments. I haven't eaten anything since this morning and have been running a fever all day. Just a little while ago, my mom called, and out of nowhere, I broke down. I feel so lonely in this city of Ningbo, completely by myself. Honestly, I feel very fragile inside, like I'm different from everyone else, almost like I'm not a normal person. When my mom called, she comforted me, urging me to get up and eat something. It's only when I'm sick that I realize how much my parents care. Other relatives and friends feel so far away. The people who love you the most are your parents. But I can't help but worry, what will happen when my parents grow old and pass away? Will I be left all alone, with no one who loves me? What will I have to rely on then? What are my reasons for studying, working, and earning so much money? I want a life that a man can provide, but I'm filled with fear when it comes to men. Every man who says he likes you can just as easily say he likes someone else. There's no man who will ever be constant in his feelings for you or love you for a lifetime. You're just two people living together, not really experiencing the kind of love people talk about. There's a saying, couples are like birds in the same forest. When disaster strikes, they fly in different directions. I feel like a failure. After almost 40 years of living, I still find myself trapped in fear and regret.
Hey, everyone. Today, I found some free time and was chatting with a friend of mine. We're the same age and we're high school classmates. Since we all have our own jobs and lives now, we don't talk very often, but today we caught up on WeChat. She mentioned that she's currently trying out blind dating since we're both over 30. I asked her how it's been, and she said it hasn't gone too well. Some of the people she's met were quite strange. For example, some were physical right from the start, while others would come with their entire life history printed out. Everything from kindergarten to high school awards, like Good Student Award. They would hand her the resume during the meeting without saying a word, which she found really odd. It made her realize just how unpredictable the dating world can be. When I asked her about her overall feelings after these dates, she said there were a few people she felt okay about, but due to age, it just didn't work out. She acknowledged that facing these kinds of issues is pretty realistic, something we never really considered before. It's like something that only happens in dramas, but now it feels very real. She expressed some frustration about how tough it is to find the right person, especially since many men prefer younger women. This reality feels pretty harsh. Maybe it's because there's no emotional connection, or maybe it's just how things are. She also mentioned that in her hometown, older single women face discrimination, and it's not just in small towns. Even in big cities like Beijing, they deal with similar biases. I recently came across some social media posts and videos discussing older single women, and the comments ranged from varied to outright negative. I really struggle to understand why people say such things. Personally, I didn't have strong feelings about marriage. My friend used to feel the same way, but now she says she's ready to get married but can't find the right person. It's like a switch flips. No matter how indifferent you try to be when you're younger, once you hit a certain age, your body starts pushing you to settle down. Those feelings come rushing in like a tidal wave. Everyone has their own way of living. If you find someone you love and think is right for you, then getting married makes sense. If you don't find that person, it's also perfectly fine not to marry. However, what you can't ignore is that your body is aging, and it's nudging you to fulfill your natural instincts. I see many women over 30 who have strong opinions and high expectations for their lives. Some feel that being a good wife and mother can be a restrictive pressure, while others might want to explore the world, advance their careers, or live independently. I believe all these lifestyles are valid. You don't have to follow the traditional path that everyone else takes. You can make your own choices, as long as you own them and don't regret them. Life is about making choices and compromises. In reality, many people choose to get married without really knowing why. I've seen friends marry because their parents pushed them or because everyone around them was getting married. They find someone with similar backgrounds and just settle into it. Sure, there are couples who marry for love, which is certainly the ideal, but if you're settling just to please others or fit in, maybe it's okay not to get married at all. I also think the term older single woman carries a lot of negative connotations. Does a woman's life only become complete if she's married to a man? Does she have to depend on a man to lead a fulfilling life? Is it really sad for a woman to be independent and not rely on a man?
I'm 38 this year, and I'm starting to feel the urge to get married. But at this awkward age, it's really tough to find the right match. If I don't get married, it worries my parents. They constantly say, "You can't just be alone forever." As they get older, they want me to have someone to rely on as I age. Ideally, they want me to have a child for support in my older days. My dad has passed away, and now my mom is alone, always urging me to tie the knot. I have an older brother who is married, and while my sister-in-law is nice enough, it's still hard being an unmarried woman at 38. People might not say much outright, but I know they're definitely thinking about it. Every holiday season, it's either my mom or my brother who nudges me to find a guy. Honestly, I don't even want to go home for the holidays anymore. Each year, I find myself reflecting on my situation while dealing with my sister-in-law's expressions and the relentless questions from relatives asking, "Why isn't she married yet? Is she even dating anyone? How's life treating her?" They point out that I'm not getting any younger and that it's time to settle down. I feel helpless and incredibly lonely, and I can't sleep well at night. It's not that I don't want to get married. I really do. It's just that I can't seem to find the right person. Every day feels heavy, filled with anxiety, and I can't shake this sense of failure. Most of my peers are already married, and some even have kids who are growing up. I just want to find a decent partner, but I'm not sure if that's even possible. My family isn't rich, but we're doing okay. If I were to settle for someone who's worse off, I really wouldn't be able to accept that. I think I look good and have a decent figure, so I'm not willing to settle for just anyone. But the guys who are a little better off in terms of looks and fitness are already married. I honestly don't know where to turn from here. The older single men out there often seem to have been passed over for a reason. Either they have issues or some kind of flaw that just doesn't attract me. I don't need to marry a super rich guy, but they shouldn't be in a worse position than I am. If I don't get married soon, what will happen when I'm older? I can't really blame my mom. If I end up lonely and sick in my old age, what will I do? It's a sad thought to be alone, unable to even pour myself a glass of water. Is it really impossible to get married at 38? My mom is still healthy now, but in a few years, she might not be around. And then I'll truly be all by myself. I don't even know where home will be, and that's a worrying reality. When I was younger, I never thought about these things. I focused on my looks and never considered the possibility that I might not get married. Ladies, if you can, marry early while you're still young and full of energy. Don't wait until you're older, after you've experienced everything and lost the passion and desire for it all. Here I am at 38, still searching for the right person, and as my looks and health decline, my expectations somehow keep rising. I really don't know what to do. I feel like I have no future. Life seems to be just a journey waiting to reach its end.